Everybody, it's Joseph Shepard and welcome to Exposed. Today's video is sponsored by Mood, and Mood are some amazing THC and CBD gummies. They're so freaking good that I literally have eaten like all of them and there's only one left, so cheers. They are giving all of my viewers a free pack of gummies by using code JosephGummy at hellomood.co, and if you're interested in more, just use code Joseph20 to get 20% off your order. Now you may be wondering, is this legal? Yes, it is. The Delta 8 and Delta 9 Mood products are 100% legal, so there's no run-ins with the law. Also, they give you an anxiety-free high. You know, if you've ever gotten paranoid from weed, you do not have to worry about that with the Delta 8. You know, you feel more clear-headed as opposed to anxiety-driven, and I absolutely love them. As I said, I've eaten so many of these. I've watched Drag Race on these, and the feeling is so great. I feel like I'm in the workroom. I feel like I'm competing. And yes, I do feel like I'm sometimes being eliminated, and that's okay. So make sure to use code JosephGummy to get your free pack of gummies from Mood. And also, if you want to order more, use code Joseph20 to get 20% off your order. Thank you, Mood, for sponsoring this video, and make sure to click the link down in the description.
You were RuPaul's personal hairstylist from season 9 to about 11.
Yeah.
Big gig, big opportunity.
Yeah.
How did you learn about that opportunity? How did it come to you?
It came to me through one of who is now, I think, an executive producer, but at the time, I think was like maybe an associate producer, something like that. A friend who worked on the show, who I had been friends with for a very long time, to the point that I like performed at his wedding in Palm Springs and that kind of thing. We had a really good friendship, and came to me and said, we're in a situation. We are just a couple episodes into filming this particular season. We have had a discussion and we need you to come in to work behind the scenes. We're still settling everything. Can you make it? This is the date. And told me some of the intricacies, like trusted me with why that was happening. And of course, I knew at that point, like, this means that I am going in place of Matthew Anderson to do one of the two jobs that Matthew did. Because Matthew was, of course, would not just do RuPaul's makeup, but also wigs and styling, all of those things in one. Best friends forever, from my understanding. And when I went into it, I didn't know who the makeup artist would be. So I remember seeing a call sheet that we got, and I saw the name of the makeup artist, and I knew, like, obviously their given name. And I just texted and I was like, are you going to be the same place I'm going to be tomorrow? And they were like, yes. I didn't know it was going to be you. What are we going to do? And we're like, we don't know. We're going to figure it out when we get there. So getting there and understanding, like, we were going right into an episode. Like, there was no like conversations about what's to be expected, really. We're just going to learn as we go. So my directive was, just keep it off my face. Just keep it big, off my face, cheat it for camera. That's where we're going to go, and then we'll move on from there. So that was my directive. There were tubs of wigs, and I was like, what do we use? And I, got friendly with Rue's assistant. And she was like, this is what we have used. These are some newer pieces. So in my mind, it was like, okay, this is what we're working on. Does this look okay? Yes, let's do that. I said, okay, while I'm doing that and while this is waiting, I'll start prepping some other stuff just to see. In my mind, I thought there was going to be like a try on, like, let's try stuff on and see. I learned that is not the case, or was not going to be the case with me. And so moving along, we would ask for notes. What are some notes? What do we need? What do we need to understand? And after that first season watching, we thought every day that we were going in, like, fuck, we're killing it. Like, this is it, bitch. Like, there's no, like, we couldn't do better. And then when we saw it, we were like, what just happened? Like, what, like, why are there eyelashes? Like, why is this like this?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't understand because we were learning what it was to have this monitor and this camera and what she wanted. And the fact that we also don't have a personal relationship with this person. So how do you say to them, no, girl, take that off. You're putting this on and we're going to try this. Or I need you to put this on. Or I need you to stand still. I need these things from you. Instead, it was, is that okay? Can we do that? And, this is a person who is not just a drag queen, but the queen of drag, and has been used to one person always working with that person. So now these two people that are being entrusted with this, it was interesting. So moving into the next season, I felt like we had our wings a little bit, going, and we started working. Rue took us with her to the UK to do to shoot the Pirelli calendar, which is like a huge thing. We did that. We did some commercials for AT&T or T-Mobile. Did a few things, and then as things were moving into the, of course, the first season we were nominated. But then that nomination was rescinded. And it was simply because of a technical error, which was you have to appear on all call sheets. And we came in 2 episodes in, totally get it, not a big deal. But we were asked to keep quiet about that because for obvious reasons, it wasn't really, the more you talk about it, the more rumors come from it. So we were asked to keep quiet, and I did my best to, this was before I was an Instagram Live person or any of that. So there was no, I'm about to go off. Like none of that was happening. I was like, I love my job. I want to be respectful. I ain't saying shit. So I didn't. And, other people chose to do different things with that information, and that's cool. But I stayed quiet. We moved into the next season. Next season, I got nominated, won the award, was very, very excited about that. I think there was an issue with I know this is wasn't the main issue, but there was a side issue with the fact that in my acceptance speech, I dedicated the award to Matthew Anderson, who paved the way for us to even be standing there. And I think the fact that Matthew had been sort of by the production company as something that we just kind of don't talk about publicly, I think maybe I overstepped by saying that in their eyes. In their eyes, yeah. And I wasn't trying to do that because I don't think that he's owned by that company. I think he has paved the way for a lot of people. We've seen him in Gwen Stefani, No Doubt videos, Janet Jackson videos. He knows drag before any of us know really about putting together drag. So finally, as they moved on to Ruby is Red Hot. What is the AJ the Queen? We were moving into that, and I was told, Rue said, my new character is going to have all red wigs. I need you to order red wigs. So I said, okay, let's do that. So we picked out some stuff, and we were moving into that. And then they were like, you're going to have to sign on to be with the production the entire time. And I said, okay, well, what days is she in drag? And it was a storyline of there's only going to be a couple of days in drag. And I'm like, okay, well, then I can be there for those couple of days in drag. But I have to make my money otherwise. And the idea was you need to become part of the union in order to be part of this show. And while you're at this show, you will be doing hair on extras. And I said, I don't do hair on extras. I do hair for the star of the show, and then I'm done. And I'm not trying to be fucked up, but I'm already in my mid 40s. I know what I want. Dolly Parton said, design, refine, and shine. I'm here to shine. I'm not designing shit. And I'm certainly not going to have people who don't know what I do telling me how to do it. The reason that I'm here in general is because you called me. And the reason you called me isn't because I'm the best at what I do. It's because I'm the best at keeping my mouth shut. They were not hiring a new hairdresser and a new makeup artist for RuPaul. They were hiring a new best friend for RuPaul. And that's what they needed. And anybody could do the work worse or better than I could. But they knew that at the time anyway, wasn't going to go off. They knew when all of these things happened, it wasn't going to be an issue. So moving into AJ and the Queen, she brought in an amazing hairdresser that tons of queens have worked with before and has a huge list of accomplishments in the industry. Perfect fit. RuPaul looked gorgeous. I've always said it only takes this much for RuPaul to look off, and it only takes this much for her to look fucking great. And a lot of people are capable of that, especially now. So I didn't do AJ and the Queen, and I sent Rue a message, and I said, hey, I know you're busy. Just want to know what to look forward to as we're moving into the first UK. And the message she sent back after a while was, hey, D, AJ has me busy working with Curtis from now on. Let you know if I ever have extra work. And that was it. And I thought, I've traveled the world with you. I've shot commercials with you. I was there for you as the person who was going to keep their mouth shut. You've written 2 books, and that's all you could write to me? Thanks. Thank you. And that's when I realized I can always have respect for the image of the supermodel.
Mm-hmm.
I always will. But I question the ethics of a person like that. And I question the ethics of a person who, during the pandemic said, oh, it's too hard, so I need to get rid of my social media. I'm always going to hold that. And then it, of course, all trickled down to its final thing when I was nominated again for an Emmy, but I was no longer working with a production company. So because of that, my name wasn't put forward. So even though I was on every call sheet again and would have had my second Emmy, and the show won an Emmy for hairstyling, I wasn't put on the Emmy and I wasn't allowed to go to the ceremony. I mean, I even approached the Academy, the president of the Academy. I was sending letters, I was campaigning, petitioning to say, I am now a full-fledged member of the Academy. I am. But what's the deal? And the reality is the production company can put on or remove anyone they want from the award.
That's crazy.
So they were within their rights. They didn't do something that's not within their rights. They did do something that wasn't ethical.
Yes.
They were so uncomfortable with me being in that room that they were not going to have me be on that award. So when people say like, oh, you have an Emmy. And in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm a 3-time nominee and 2-time winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I also have a VMA that Taylor Swift gave me, but I'm just saying.
Well, you were just talking about, World of Wonder, and on any YouTube video about the whole situation, you commented here, you said, there are so many layers to this, but people aren't prepared for that because it discredits a company that has not done them wrong and brings so much joy by showcasing beautiful drag entertainers. There always has to be collateral damage, and that's me.
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter because people realize, if this happened to what I call the 10%, if this happened to a name that everyone loves, nobody dislikes, everyone loves. If this happened to Alyssa Edwards, this would be a problem. If this happened to any of the names that are standouts or top threes, it would be an issue. But there's a little camp of people, a Willem, a Pearl, myself, Fifi O'Hara, Tyra Sanchez, a million different people, King Sanchez, who people say, you're not grateful for what was given to you. You're too mouthy. You pop off too much. You think you're better than everybody. I don't want more than everybody. I want what I earned.
Yes.
You brought me in, asked me to keep my mouth shut, told me to comb wigs until they were off of her face. When I said notes, they said, just keep doing what you're doing. When I offered up wigs, it was like, no, that's not it. If you didn't like me personally, that's okay. You can say, we do not think this is a fit. And you have to go. That is so fine. That's how the world works, right? That's how the world works. So, I've worked in retail for a very long time. That's why I am so hypercritical about retail or customer service. I think it is a difficult, one of the worst jobs, but it can be one of the best jobs because you can turn people's opinions around immediately. Your job as a storyteller, like you pull stories out of people and you do that so well because you're interested and you're interesting. Yeah. And so people want to talk to you. With that said, I felt like that's all they had to say. And then with this back end, it was their responsibility to go, ooh, this is going to be uncomfortable. She's going to be there. But you know what? We're about integrity. She did do the work. Her name was on every call sheet. She's got to have the award. And why not let one of our alum shine?
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. All RuPaul has to do is sit back and go, look at my girl, Alyssa over here with her makeup palette. Isn't that sickening? I did that. Look at my Trixie Mattel. I did that. Look at Kim Chi inside CVS. I did that. Look at Laganja spreading stories all over the world and interviewing all these people. I did that. Why wouldn't the arrogance that we already know want to lay claim to that? Why wouldn't it want to do that instead of shying away from it? Everyone would have still said, wow, look what RuPaul did for Delta.
Yeah.
I could have run around and been like, look at my award. I'm so happy. And I am happy and I am proud of it. But the company still would have been shining. Instead, it was fucked up and it was mean and it was mean-spirited. It was mean-spirited.